Hey, welcome to another episode of geekoutdoors.com. So on a previous episode, I actually did an update video of my experience of using Steam with Proton, and I was showing you how things were working, specifically with some games that I absolutely love. It's mainly Doom, but also showing you that some of the games that I tried, like Bloodstain, it worked, Guacamelee worked, but then many of the games that I tried did not work. But now I found the reason why it wasn't working, and it was because I did not install Vulkan. And so on my previous video, I talked about this website. It's DXVK. This is a Vulkan-based compatibility layer for Direct3D, so it allows you to run 3D games, 3D applications on Linux using Wine. Now, whenever I did install this, I didn't install Vulkan. I just installed the drivers, and it allowed me to use OpenGL. And so I was okay with that because Doom was working, so a few other games were working, but then most of the games that I was trying was not. And so I went ahead and tried to run the games again after installing Vulkan, and magically most of the games that wasn't working before now worked. And so I will leave a link in the description area below where you could actually go to this particular page. And once you get here, you would go to installing drivers. And when you get to installing drivers, simply follow all the instructions here for your distribution. But the most important thing is, once you install the proper graphics driver for your cards, you need to install Vulkan, which is something that I did not do on the last one. But once I installed Vulkan, man, this is what you're going to see next. Now, I will also say there is a site called ProtonDB. What they do is show you all the games that are working well with Proton. But obviously, there's many games that aren't on here that might work. So you definitely want to try it out on your Steam account. And so let's go back to Steam. And I will say that I am recording all of this using OBS at 30 frames per second. However, it is recording in 2K because that is the resolution of my actual monitor. And so there is definitely a possibility that the performance you're going to get seeing this through my recording is not going to be as good as what I'm actually experiencing. Okay, I just want to put that out there. And so the one game that didn't work right away was Strider. And I love this game. It is an older game, but it's one that I wanted to play because I am a fan of the original Genesis and arcade game. So I'm going to go ahead and launch this. And before it didn't work, but now with Vulkan, magically now it works because it's doing all that Direct3D translation. And so I'm just going to show you a little bit of how this looks. I love Strider so much. And it is something that, I didn't think could get better from the original arcade. But man, it did get better in every single way. I love this game. And for most people who are not familiar with Strider, they probably have seen him in the Marvel vs. Capcom games. But I remember him from the original Genesis game. And so you see here, I'm not really sure what stage I'm in. And so give me a moment and find out where I am. But as you can see here, this looks great. No problems with frame rates or anything else. Just looks absolutely amazing. And you'll probably hear me say that a lot. I just say that things just look amazing because it does. And once again, I cannot believe that all this is running in Linux. This is the crazy thing. And this isn't running natively, of course, because Proton, it is a Wine compatibility layer. So you can imagine if these games were actually running natively in Linux, it would run even better. But as you can see here, especially for older games like this, it has no problem in terms of getting great performance and gameplay. So it looks really good there. So that is it for Strider. So now I could actually play this game and enjoy Strider Haru again. So let's go ahead and move over to the next game. Okay, so the next game that I really wanted to try, and it's a much newer game, is Yakuza Zero. Man, I wanted to play this. And so before, whenever I tried this, it did not work. But now, thanks to the magic of installing Vulkan, it now works. And so it might take a little long because this is a much larger game. So as you can see there, Yakuza Zero. And I'm playing all of this just plugged in my controller. Everything works fine. Sega. I'm obviously a Sega fanboy. I'm a real Yakuza because I'm playing this with a Logitech gamepad. Look at these graphics, man. They're sweet. It's great. And let me show you some of my graphic settings. It didn't really matter much for Strider, but the settings are pretty good. I mean, it's high, you know. So let's go ahead and continue a game so you can kind of see how this looks like. Okay. And I've never played any of the Yakuza series, but I've heard so many amazing things, and that's why I wanted to play it so much. And the fact that it was already on Steam and I could get a lot more graphics performance out of it, I definitely wanted to try it, but now I can. So look at this. This looks awesome. Man, can't beat that, man. And, you know, now that I'm able to play some of these games that, you know, if I didn't have a game console or a Windows machine, I wouldn't have been able to play before. But now I could actually play them. And better yet, compared to the console versions, I'm actually going to get a better experience because I can actually play it at higher graphic settings right here. The attention to detail in this game is sweet. And as I was playing this, I didn't have any problems at all. And obviously right now I am screen recording, and so I actually get better performance when I'm not screen recording. But as you can see here, no problems in playing games. And as I was playing these games, trying them out for like hours actually, I didn't experience anything weird. You know, I didn't have any unexpected crashes or anything like that, which is really impressive, you know, once again, because this is a compatibility layer. It's not running natively, and I could just spend all day just sprawling around. And even though a lot of people would say this is Grand Theft Auto, you know, I guess a Yakuza version of it, I really feel this is more of a Shenmue to me, you know, because that's what I remember Sega. They were the first game company to actually produce an open world game like that, set in Japan. So yeah, for me this is a Shenmue type game, and an amazing one at that. So I can't wait to get into this a little bit further. So as you can see there, Yakuza Zero works perfectly with the Vulkan API. So, yep. Let's go ahead and try out a few more games. Okay, so the final game I want to show you is Metal Gear Solid 5. Now, I did try some other games though. I did try Jet Set Radio, Sonic Adventures 2. I also tried Resident Evil 5. And also Devil May Cry, Cuphead still didn't work. And Bionic Commando still didn't work. So there were still games that didn't work, but the majority of the games that I wanted to try actually work. And Metal Gear Solid 5 is definitely one of them because I have never played Metal Gear Solid 5. I would have even bought a PlayStation just to play it. But I'm so glad that I could play it right here on Steam because I'm getting way better graphic quality on this. And I get to experience Hideo Kojima's last amazing game through Konami. So once this loads. Oh yeah, Konami. And there's Kojima. I can't wait to see what he does with Death Stranding. And I was so impressed that I was able to play this. And look at that. So awesome, man. And I'm going to go ahead and continue a game that I already had. And I really can't say too much more about how much I really love Metal Gear Solid. I remember playing the original Nintendo game. Obviously, it wasn't the same as the Japanese version, but look at this. This is so incredible, man. Playing Metal Gear Solid 5. Not only on PC, but in Linux. What world am I living in? Look at these graphics, man. Whoa. Punching people. Scope.
The map has been updated.
And as you can see here, no problems at all, just like all the other games. But Metal Gear Solid 5 obviously is a graphical tour de force. Look at this. Oh man. There's so many things that you can do here. I'm not sure, you know, if Konami's ever going to do anything again with this property. And I'm not talking about that horrible survival game. I'm talking about a real Metal Gear game, you know, now that Kojima's no longer there. I mean, that just sucks. I mean, I really can't say anything else about that. And with games like this, man, it's just, why do you even need a game console when you could get this type of experience and better on a PC, and especially on a Linux PC? And I know for everybody who has already been experiencing modern games at the best quality on their PC, the PC Master Race, this is nothing new for them. But once again, being somebody who is on Linux, just something like this, I never thought was going to be possible. You know, whenever I started gaming on Linux, it was through Wine, and that was the only way that I could play games. And, you know, I mean, it was okay. I mean, for people who were gamers, just the fact that we could even play some games on Linux was just enough, even though they were pretty craptastic, you know. You get like pretty horrible games, you know. But anyway, it's amazing that we've actually gotten this far, and it's only going to get better. It is only going to get better. So I'm going to go up here real quick. And, you know, Metal Gear, whenever I remember playing Metal Gear after Nintendo, it wasn't really until the PlayStation 1. I think for everybody remembers that. And just seeing that, it was just like, this is the next level of everything, you know. There's no way games could get better than this, you know. And Kojima, you know, with the hardware they had and everything that was available, they really showed you the future of gaming right here. So let me go up here, and I'm going to see if I can show you some more of this graphical quality that we are now getting on your Linux machine. And, you know, for games like this, you know, like my hardware, you know, it's still pretty good, but my GPU is definitely not the strongest. But I'm still able to get really great gameplay, smooth, graphical quality is great. You can see there, so awesome. And once again, unbelievable that I am playing a Metal Gear Solid game right here in Linux. And so those are all the main games that I wanted to show you. And it was as simple as first installing those additional drivers and then putting in the Vulkan API, and now you have a truly modern gaming powerhouse right here. And so the last thing I'm going to show you is Doom again, but this time using the Vulkan API versus OpenGL. Okay, so right here, you can see right here, these are all the settings. I am running Vulkan. And I will say that I am recording this in 30 frames per second. This is a 2K resolution. So I did try to record this in 60 frames, but honestly, it looked pretty bad. And so let's go ahead and look at some of the settings first, so then I can show you the graphic settings that I actually have right now. As you can see here, there's Vulkan, and my overall quality is ultra on everything here. And so the quality might not be as great, you know, because I am screen recording. But as you'll probably see, it's still really solid, and I attribute a lot of that to not only my hardware, but just what they've been able to do with Vulkan here through Linux. And, you know, if this was running natively in Linux, it would be even faster. But if you look at the frames per second on the top right, it's at around 50 to, you know, 60 to 40. So absolutely playable. And then whenever I am playing this without screen recording, it can go anywhere from 60 to 80, which is pretty amazing for me, as I'm somebody who pretty much says, well, just over 30 frames is good enough for me. But man, it just looks amazing, and at this ultra quality, I cannot complain at all. It's absolutely amazing to me. And look at this game. I just love Doom so much. I mean, this is something I don't really think I could ever really get bored of, to be honest with you. It is my favorite first-person shooter for any modern system right now. And whenever Doom Eternal comes out, it can only get better. That's for sure. Oh, man. Oh, jeez. Look at this. And if I had a better graphics card, I'm pretty sure I could do this game even better justice when it comes to actual screen recording. But I think this gives you a good idea of what you get with this Vulkan API right here. Absolutely stunning. And for anybody who, you know, doesn't feel like Linux is a great gaming platform, you know, just try out Valve again using this Proton layer, and you'll really see the power that you could actually get out of this. And once again, this is not native to Linux. I mean, it's actually a compatibility layer. So the simple fact that I'm able to get gameplay like this even through a compatibility layer, is pretty stunning to me. Oh, I just died. I was trying to kill that guy simply by punching him to death. So as you can see there, everything's still running. I haven't had any issues. I'm going to try one more run, but this is just simply amazing to me. And I'm really looking forward to seeing what other games take advantage of the Vulkan API. And as you saw from my earlier gameplay footage, there's so many games that now work through Proton. And as the versions of this Proton keep improving, I'm pretty sure you'll be able to play a large majority of all your Windows games right through Steam in Linux, which is something that everybody has been dreaming of when it comes to Linux gamers. And for the simple fact that I'm able to play like pretty much a lot of the games that I enjoy already, and some games that I've never played before, like Doom, yeah, no complaints there. Jeez, this is so crazy. And I have tried playing this game all the way through, and wow, it's so difficult, but so satisfying at the same time. Now, going back to this performance, it kind of speaks for itself, as you can see here. It's just pretty incredible to me. Okay, let's second round. Let's try this out again. Can't really beat this double barrel shotgun. It's just so satisfying. Not unless I have the BFG, but that kind of takes away some of the challenge. So as you can see there, performance is amazing through Vulkan, but most importantly, as I showed you earlier, if you do this for Steam, be sure that you actually put in the Vulkan APIs. So not only can you get the best performance, but at the same time, you're going to be able to play a lot of your Linux games right here through Steam. Whereas before, when I was just using OpenGL, a whole bunch of games didn't work. So if you had any thoughts on this, if you tried Vulkan or any of these other games through Steam and using Proton, be sure to leave that in the comments area below. And as always, if you did get value out of these videos, share, like, and subscribe. Hey geeks, if you are a creative geek like me and you wanted to learn how to create content on YouTube and other places on the internet, then check out my Gold Content Creators group, where you'll get access to 30 videos plus additional content for all the creative geeks out there. And the best part of it is, all of this is free. Simply head over to the link below, check out my page, and sign up for my Gold Content Creators group. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you on the other side. Thanks for checking out this episode. And as always, if you like these videos, be sure to click on the subscribe button. And for full written content, audio content, and additional geek stuff, head over to geekoutdoors.com, and I'll see you outdoors on the very next episode.